and welcome everyone. I'm Varun, your host, and today we begin our series, The Sunny Side Up. And for our first guest on this podcast, we have Dr. Tiwari. We will be talking a bit about something new which is coming up in the sector and the new dynamic war, as it's called, solar plus hydrogen. So India's economy is going through a massive transition, and who better than Dr. Tiwari, who is a consultant with the NITI Aayog and who is also a mentor of change with the Atal innovation mission.
Yes.
So I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And let's talk a little bit about the solar plus hydrogen space. We've been hearing about it quite a lot, and it's been, really changing a lot of thinking about what will the future of energy look like.
Yes.
But before we go there, why don't you just give us a short brief about your journey and what brings you in this space with NITI?
Yeah. So Varun, thank you very much for inviting me over here. I'm really humbled and honored to be here. And let me congratulate you for making a big exhibition. Very much impressive. I just roamed around few booths. It's great. Thank you very much for what you're doing. So let me tell you about my journey. I'm basically an electronics engineer, and I have been working for professional companies for last 3+ decades, around 32 years around, and been working with battery industry, solar industry, and then last 1 decade I was in UAE, Abu Dhabi, and there I was taking care of the solar projects. I was a director in one of the renewable company, and we were taking care of the end-to-end solar projects, where we were providing the designing, engineering, production, means supply and installation and testing, commissioning of end-to-end solutions to the oil and gas companies and to the telecom companies. So this is about a brief about me. Thank you.
So let's start with understanding the role that today NITI Aayog is playing in enabling India's journey towards a cleaner and a greener economy.
Okay. So maybe you are aware that this is not a challenge of India, but this is a global challenge of coming out of the fossil fuels. Because we were having that kind of only fossil fuel as an energy source, which we were using for years. So because the population is keep on growing, today we are 8+ billion across the globe, and India is also 1.5 billion around. So now the major challenge is that to stop the polluting the environment and stop the carbon emission. So for that reason, renewable energy has come up, and for many years we were listening about the solar, about the wind, about the nuclear, and so many things are popping up. But recently the new thing what the whole global world is looking is they are eyeing on the hydrogen energy. So government is very much working hard, and they are having aggressive targets and supporting the industries to come up with the renewable energy. Thank you.
So, is it fair to say today that whether it is hydrogen or whether it is any other future energy fuel, solar will be the one which will be powering will it be the backbone of this new energy era?
Yeah, we can say like that. Out of the complete scenario, if we say, the major thing and the most economical and the most viable sustainable solution is the solar. Even not for the industries, even for the factories or the big giants, but for the end users as well. Being a person who is having a small house, and if he is having a space, he can go for the solar energy production at his own house. Even for last around 6 years around, I think I'm having a solar rooftop solution at my home, at my penthouse. So solar is the biggest and easiest and the best way to create energy, and hence it is growing. And you might have seen, you are in the industry, you might have seen the phases where the solar power was very costly earlier, but now it is coming up with the new technologies, and the panels are coming cheaper, The inverters are coming best and the best, having a great efficiency. So every people is now eyeing to have their own solar power. And thank God that the government, Mr. Modi ji, is having a new kind of algorithm, and they want to set up 1 crore plus, people to have the solar power. So this is something really big.
So many people, when they hear such numbers, 1 crore solar power, rooftops, or and I think that is the what has been planned under the PM Surya Ghar Yojana.
Yes.
And we've recently reached 100 gigawatt of solar in India. It's a massive milestone, a major milestone.
Yes.
And so are these numbers real, or are we just looking at a fancy picture and the numbers which are coming out, or do you really see these things now happening in the industry?
So Varun, those data which are coming through the reliable resources, they are not fake. And let me tell you, because I have been in many countries, in UAE, even in Europe. So across the globe, India is seen as an energy hub. And today, means maybe you are aware that in Gujarat there is a place called Kutch, and Kutch is the border of Pakistan, and that area is completely, which is useless. We cannot make a crop out of it. There is no population and nothing can be done. So at that area, Modi ji thought that why not we can make a solar park over there, and today 30 gigawatt solar park is coming over there. And I will tell you that what is the meaning of that particular park. The area where we are putting up this park is a mixture of solar and wind power, and this area is more bigger than the area of Singapore.
Wow, massive.
So that much big area we are putting up, and major 6 players are working on them. Adani is one of them, and it is almost started 3-4 years before, and it is on a verge of completion. So today we are proud to say that we are internationally number 1 in the solar plants. If you check out the Google, you will see the number 1 solar plant across the globe is in India. Second one is again in India. Third one was in China, which is not started yet. So third one is again in India. So we are leading in the world.
So I was also reading that today India's biggest import bill is actually oil.
Yes.
And we are and have been an energy deficit country for I think how many decades since our independence. So now with renewables into foray, and how this is growing, this gives us a chance to make India more secure in terms of energy, and one of the very viable replacements of oil in future is said to be hydrogen.
Yes.
So how do you see hydrogen now coming in, and what areas will hydrogen start to plug in this new energy domain?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Let me tell you that out of the solar and wind power, the new thing which is coming up and which is the very promising is the hydrogen energy. Why hydrogen energy? Because hydrogen energy is the purest clean form of energy which is required massively for the industries like cement industries, like the iron industries. They need massive power, and there the hydrogen power is more suitable. And third biggest application is the utilities, the transportation, where we are using the EV batteries. So there we are trying to shift over with the hydrogen. Now with hydrogen, this is a really good power. Now problem is that hydrogen is not available as a resource. We have to generate, we have to make hydrogen, and hydrogen making is just nothing. We have to separate oxygen and hydrogen from the water. Now for the separation purpose, there are so many ways, so many various methods which can be used. Out of this all methods, the best method is the method which is being used with the green renewable raw energy. So I am making hydrogen with renewable solar using as a source of energy. So that's why it is called a green hydrogen. And India is again working very hard to reach to that level. And let me tell you, today we by 2030 we are promising to be producing 5 million tons of hydrogen green energy.
Massive. And I think we also want to get into a position very quickly where we can not only use but also start to export hydrogen out of India.
Very, very true. There would be two markets. One is a domestic market and another they want to set up for the international market, which is for the export. So they are making 5 million ton project for this one and same 5 million ton project for the export one. So we could be hub, and maybe you are aware that we have been already leading in the solar power, which with the France agreement we are number one. And in G20, Modi ji has already announced that we have made an international solar alliance in India, ISA, where around 20 plus countries are supporting us. So in that way, solar we are already good, big, and hydrogen we have to work hard to be the biggest.
So do you think that you spoke about the wind parks, the now solar and wind parks coming up? Doesn't hydrogen naturally become a part of the ecosystem, and will we see in future hydrogen parks being developed where these solar and wind parks are?
Let me tell you, let me put it in a different way, that those solar parks and wind parks are the parks which can be designed in a way where things can be utilized from the same resources, natural resources. Like solar is something, radiations are coming, we can use that one. But if we talk about the hydrogen, so the process, the infrastructure, the design, and those things are required is cannot be compared with those solar parks. So hydrogen, as of now, there are 2-3 players. Mr. Adani is there, then IOCL is there, and one more, ACME is there. They three are the leaders who have given their expression of interest to put up the hydrogen plant. So they 3 guys are coming, because this solar transition means making a hydrogen is not an easy job. It is very typical, very much difficult kind of engineering is required for that one, and it's a huge investment. And efficiency wise also it is very less, because there are so many losses. When you take power from the renewable, so there would be losses. Renewable you cannot get 100%. And when you make hydrogen, so hydrogen is also the efficiency wise it is very low. And when you transmit it, take it to the end user, so there would be losses. So hydrogen parks maybe not in near short future, but we don't know at long term.
And let's talk about the transport of hydrogen. Now electricity is transported by the grids, and we are investing into improving our transmission infrastructure. What about the transport infrastructure for hydrogen? How do you see that shaping up, and what changes would be needed? What will need to be done to get hydrogen from place A to place B? And where do we stand on the transport of this hydrogen as a fuel?
So, Varun, what you said earlier, that we are basically a dependent country for oil, and we are, we have a huge consumption requirement, and we are, importing a lot much oil from other countries. So, to cater that thing, to target that thing, we are coming up with new ideas, and hydrogen is one of them. So as of now, maybe you might have heard about the buses. There are so many hydrogen buses which have already been started, and I am not sure, but I heard that Vande Bharat is also yes, they are one day. So this is something, a big example we are going to showcase to the world, that yes, the transportation could be the best way to for the hydrogen application. And secondly, I would say that hydrogen is something which will replace this oil dependency of ours on other countries in a drastic way, in a big way. So this is a big win-win situation for India in a long term.
And where do you see, the big bottlenecks today? First, I believe transport, as you said, is one of the major sectors. And now within the transport, we have a tussle between the hydrogen mobility and the electric mobility. Who's going to win? So what are the challenges that you're seeing in the uptake of hydrogen today?
So challenges, as what I said, I told you that the biggest challenge is to generate the hydrogen, make the hydrogen. Let me tell you that last couple of weeks before, I was in IIT Gandhinagar. So there I could able to see the process of extracting the hydrogen from water, which was not easy. It's a typical process, and today unfortunately many of the countries are not even having the technology. In India, fortunately, we have, and we are trying. So hydrogen, I see that it is something big revolutionary change which will drastically shape up the environment across the globe, and definitely the transport system in India and across the globe. Now EV, what you said, EV has come up, so EV has to grow up little bit, and EV has not even come to the saturation point, and now we are coming with a new technology. So EV will sustain for definitely for some time. Maybe it will go parallelly. This is what I think.
So in energy, what I've seen is first is the availability of the resources, whether you have it or you don't. Then next, what comes in is the cost of energy, and that is what becomes the main source of the energy for an economy. The cheaper it is, the faster it gets absorbed, the faster is the uptake, and the faster is the investments which go into that sector.
Yes.
On a cost-to-cost basis, if I talk about hydrogen, and let's say hydrogen versus oil, are we still there in that price range where hydrogen starts to become a viable option for the liquid fuels?
That's a really nice thing you put up on. Let me tell you that the prices of generating a power out of solar or turbine or from wind has come up to some level of the saturation, because maybe that the power earlier it was 4-5 rupee per kilowatt hour, and now it has reduced to the 2.5 or like that. But further it is going to come to the saturation point. Maybe it will increase little bit. Now hydrogen gas is basically depending on the solar power generation. So first, that because we are using solar power as a raw energy to produce the hydrogen, we are not using the fossil fuels, because if we use the fossil fuel to generate hydrogen, then it will not be a green hydrogen. So for green hydrogen we have to use the renewable power only. So hydrogen, I don't see that it will be a very much viable solution in near future, but yes, in a some time, it will take little bit time to come to a level where technology advancement, the energies and the resources will develop to such a level, then it may become at a good level to be absorbed.
Well, as you said, there are two basic ingredients of creating hydrogen. One is water.
Yes.
I believe India has plenty of it, and it's not that expensive a resource. And the other is the energy which goes into creating the hydrogen, which is solar. And we've seen that from where it started and what it has reached in the last 10 years, it's come down to almost I'd say 1/6 of the price already, and it's going down even further.
Yes.
And I think the efficiencies are going up.
Yes.
So there's definitely starts tilting the scale in the favor of hydrogen.
Possibly, and we wish for that.
So you've also been working a lot with the Atal innovation mission, and I believe that this is to work with some new age entrepreneurs and how you mentor them into taking up the next era of business opportunities. Tell us what's happening on these lines, especially in Gujarat, in the energy ecosystem, and how are you helping shape up the next or the new entrepreneurs or the new business people which are now eyeing at this space as definitely a solid source of future revenue.
Yes. So I'm really happy to mention about it, because that is something I'm so passionate. So in 2016 there was an initiative started, flagship initiative was started by NITI Aayog in the under the leadership of Modi ji. So they wanted to, what they are thinking that why a student is coming after the school and going directly to the college for seeking a job. His mindset is just to go for a job. You touch anybody and you ask them what do you want to do, they say I want to go for a good job. So to change this paradigm, to shift this paradigm, they thought why not we should put an injection or start them at the school level. So they thought at the 6th grade to 12th grade they have started a program which is called Atal Tinkering Lab. Yeah, so Varun, it is very interesting. You will not believe that those students which are in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, they are thinking from innovator to entrepreneur thing. And today they are well aware about those terms which I was not even aware in the engineering term. So those guys are being given infrastructure, and today I am proud to say that NITI Aayog has created 10,000 ATLs across India. So there are all the government schools, private schools, girls schools, which has been given an aid of 20 lakh rupees each school to create that lab. And in that lab, those students are going and making a prototype of maybe solar related or hydrogen related or whatever related, coming up with the startup ideas, and we are supporting them to go to the next level to set up their business, to make them understand and to make that prototype into a marketable product.
I think what you mentioned about students and how they are getting in very early into this sustainability, into let's say clean energy space, it just creates a very different mindset in the future.
Yes.
As you said, when we are growing up, we hardly heard the terms about forget solar. Even basic terms like how does electricity work, how it's produced, and I was recently with one of the bunch of students, and they were talking about carbon tax mechanisms, and these are 8, 9, 10 grade. It is really amazing the work that I think NITI Aayog is doing on this in this space.
Yeah, their vision is actually to create a startup hub in India within before 2030. So you will see huge big startups will become unicorn in India itself. We don't want to listen from from the America or from another land. We want to hear it from India.
From India.
Yes.
So what do you have to say, let's say, to these kind of new entrepreneurs that you're working with? What do you want to tell them about where are the future business opportunities in the solar or hydrogen space, and what should they be working towards?
Okay, so to the budding entrepreneurs and those people who are aiming to grow big, grow giant, so I would say that the future is here in India in the renewable power. And what you said is that hydrogen is the big baby where they can eye on, and they can put their time, energy and efforts into that. And let me tell you, at least 3 to 4 decades is the renewable time, and that's here in India. So big promises, big future, and if there is a person who want to put up his energy into it, he can see his career like anything. And there are various ways they can attach with this industry, and they can support maybe the service industry, maybe the manufacturing industry, maybe the integration industry. There are various ways they can put their efforts into it.
Do you see enough R&D happening in our country today to back this?
Why you ask this question? Let me tell you very, very frankly, it is not enough. The R&D which has to be at some level, unfortunately, it's not that. We are leading in manufacturing, we are leading in the skills, we are leading in entrepreneurship, mindset and all. But we are not, unfortunately, putting enough resources to make our R&Ds at our own. We are trying to copy other technologies, but we are not making our own technology. So this is the part where India government is working on it, and they are trying to encourage those industries, factories and all those to come up with those research labs, and they want to fund them in through some various schemes. And secondly, already maybe you know that we already have been working to make India as a manufacturing hub in India. So for that they have started PLI schemes, and for that mobiles have been started working in India. I mean, so many companies have come up, even solar PVs are there. And how they are encouraging, they are trying to give them incentives, they are trying to give them subsidies, they are trying to give them some tax rebates. And apart from that, the Chinese product, or I should not say particular name, any other country product, they are making a custom duty so high so that it is coming at par and people are bound to make in India. So this is something is happening.
So we've seen in very technology advanced countries. You mentioned about the global leaders today in the innovation space. We often look to some of the American companies, European companies, and today I think China is one of the biggest, not only the producer but also innovator in this space. How should we reduce the gap between the industry and the academia of this country to bring, foster in better R&D. Because I think that is where a lot of future ideas can, shape up. And is NITI Aayog working on any of such programs to bring the industry and the academia together?
Yeah, good you raised this question. I want to introduce one initiative which has been started by NITI Aayog, which is called AIC, Atal Incubation Centers. So these Atal Incubation Centers are, started at various industries, various academias like engineering colleges, universities, including IITs. So those academias, those AICs labs are basically trying to collaborate industries and academias, bring them together at one platform and support each other and grow each other. Means they have the ideas, they have the working power, manpower, and here they have the need. So these particular can be matched and supported by each other. So what you said is already government is working on that to bring together academia and industry.
And maybe we should have a little more focus on the energy space dedicatedly under this, the incubation centers, and have some, because so far I think a lot of companies have seen R&D as a cost, but I think now things are changing and they're seeing R&D as an investment.
True.
And if we want to become a manufacturing giant, we really don't want to have a lot of reliance always on the other
countries,
tech hubs. So let's, I think, come together and create more innovation in this space. I think that's what has been your work also under both the Atal Innovation Mission and the Incubation Center.
Yes.
So I think that's where the industry also needs to invest more.
Correct.
And they should maybe come back to NITI Aayog and create better programs to develop the R&D in this.
Yeah, very well said. That what you said is correct. R&D is not a cost; it is an investment. So that mindset is required. So maybe those industries has to change their mindset with the new era and with the new developments, and they have to think globally, not locally. So that paradigm shift is again required from the industrial level, and academia, they are excited. If you see all those people who are coming up from the schools, colleges, universities, they are ready to put up their efforts, but only industry has to adopt them and go take them to the next level. So that is, you are right, correct.
So I think with that we've had a good chat.
Thank you.
And we'll have more such innovative discussions with Mr. Tiwari going forward. So it was the first podcast of our series. I hope you liked it. There's a lot of work that really needs to go into solar plus hydrogen. We are at the beginning of the new era of growth in the renewable space.
Yes.
As he said, everything is there ready for us, and India needs to be a global innovator and a global leader in the space. With that, I think it was a fantastic chat with you, sir.
Thank you very much, Varun. Thank you very much, and you really hosted it very well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.